the order is going to be T. Then we will go to contention 2 of the AC. Then the politics disad. Then the counterplan. Then the turns.
So you said T, AC, politics, counterplan, turns?
Yeah. Okay. Starting on T. Everyone ready? Okay. Off T, counter-interpretation, extend matter from the AC that compulsory voting can allow for none of the above option. Off the violation evidence, first off the interpretation, it's not specific to compulsory voting, it just says voting preferred. Mine, because it's a term of art. Off Krishna, first call the card, it says that many countries actually have none of the above, so that shows I'm more consistent with the actual models used in the real world. Second, this author, if you read the minimized text, is talking about the definition that the specific authors will use, not a definition that they think compulsory voting actually is, so it's only for their own study, so it can't best describe the let. Prefer my interpretation. 1, CV would be impossible to defend if it required people to actually vote. Sarah Birch writes. CV can be defined very simply as legal obligation to attend the polls, but the inherent constraints of secret ballot mean that CV, strictly speaking, impossible to take and monitor the behavior of the elector and the privacy of the polling. They do nothing to prevent her from casting in a blank ballot. I weigh on ground because if my absentee were impossible to implement, then I'd never be able to generate offense. He can weigh against blank ballots because there are authors like Lever that say blank ballots are still harmful. He could also say that uninformed voters will actually vote for candidates, and that's bad, and that outweighs the options and none of the above, so he just has to do more weighing, but I get 0 ground. Then off top of it, I'm the only one consistent with the top of it because my author actually talks about compulsory voting as a term of art. His authors either say compulsory voting by themselves or compulsory voting for their specific study, which isn't actually about the literature. Off the AC contention 2. Extend Hill 1. Comparative research shows that low socioeconomic status decreases voting and makes abstention and alienation. Group north entrenching cycles of exclusion. His first answer is that the CP solved, but it doesn't because it doesn't change the way people are alienated from the process, even if it registers them to vote. That won't actually change anything. Then off Hill rejects his evidence because it's citing it's my author and app author, so it's not actually supporting the conclusion. Also, Hill 2 proves that CV provides a circuit breaker to not voting by changing entrenched behavior through sanctions and preference shaping, and he's going to so that also answers it. Then Hill also doesn't matter because there's none of the above option if I'm winning T, which means that there is no coercion. That also takes out Lever. Also, Lever's empirically denied. First, extend late part. CV promotes equal turnout better than any alternatives. Compared to multivariate analysis, shows CV raises turnout by 7 to 16% with 10% increase in 30 democracies. This outweighs the counterplan because it shows that overall CV is the most effective. Affirmative evidence is multivariate, so it can best analyze causation. Extend Chong and Oliver to CV empirically creates more equal income levels. States with CV on average, Gini coefficient 3.7 points lower than those without. He says the link is different as the strongest link to the standard because it actually shows the relative difference between the groups, so it best shows quality. And this empirically takes that Lever preferred because the conceded reasons to prefer based on sample size and causality. He says that there's academic consensus, but there's no reason to just go along with everyone believes. And also, Lever's not actually giving the warrants for why people disagree with it. Off the politics dissent. First, I have fiat, so that means the act's implemented immediately. The only time is spent on actually the executive branch, but that's different from Congress, which is what is Link's story specific to. And second, it doesn't matter if it's not unique. Congress is already wasting time with House Republicans trying to repeal Obamacare so that so the plan wouldn't do anything anyways. We're probably not going to go over the debt ceiling anyways. Then off the third off case perm, we can have automatic registration with compulsory voting. The net benefit is the AC contention 2, which shows that I solve for the attitudinal change. So even if he solves for structural exclusion, he doesn't solve for the harms of people still having a perception of the system that actively excludes them. Off the turns. Off Prevensky, the governments are lulled to complacency. First, this isn't offense, it's just a false solvency argument. Second, I'm the one that actually empirically gets changed with Chong and Oliveira too. The alternative is Chong and Oliveira, which says that these governments are dominated by elitist interests that will never get changed because those governments would never want to do things to help the poor. Off the arguments that people don't actually express their interest. First, is empirically denied with Chong and Oliveira too. And second, the warrant is that they're uninformed, but CV increases political education because people are likelier to vote their interests. Victoria Scheinman writes. CV increases political sophistication because it increases the intrinsic benefit of acquiring political information by shifting social norms and expectations regarding political intent. CV shifts attention away the information environment and mobilizes non-voters so they're likely to express their interests. Then off the Sesnick and Gans stuff that minorities can't vote because non-voting doesn't address the harm. First, this is empirically wrong because Chong and Oliver too shows it does get the change. Second, none of the above solves because if they can abstain, then they can just abstain through the none of the above option I actually allow. And third, this is an offense. It just shows that it can't solve the problem, but I'm feeling that there's anything to solve the problem.
It's like 3:20.
Oh, sorry.